Hello, gentlemen. I'm Chris Steele, and I've been called a fundamental idealist because I really do believe we can have community. I think we can, as service-oriented leaders, make a positive difference. So here we are sitting with a couple people from the highest echelons of our community, a doctor and a lawyer with bacon and eggs on his tie, I must say. Very distinguished. It's great to have you here. So why would people in the highest echelons of our society, who can actually go out and create a practice and make lots of money and build wealth and success, want to put yourselves into a gauntlet and challenge yourself to fix a system that, I don't know, is really broken. It's not really that functional. Why did you get into this ideal of politics and leadership in the first place?
Mark DeBravo. You know, when the times are tough, that's when leaders come forward, or that's when good quality people are really needed. And again, when I mentioned earlier, when I had gone through the school system, UNR and UNLV, being involved in student politics, I knew one day that I was going to have my own practice here in Las Vegas, and I knew one day I was going to say, I want to be involved at a higher level. So I think when you had made reference to this gauntlet, or times are tough, I don't think it's quite dysfunctional as everyone might think it is, according to the newspapers and that. I think there's been a lot of improvements with the Board of Regents over the last few years as far as communication among themselves and how they present themselves to the legislature. So I am currently working, I am a taxpayer, and I know how important it is to spend taxpayers' money. With that in mind, I think it's very important for the state to emphasize higher education. I hear a lot of talk now with other politicians saying a higher educational system is very important for economic diversification. Let's attract other business here just by having an extremely low tax structure. However, that only works so far, I think. You have to feed your higher educational system. Bob has mentioned state lottery system, or is it of the general fund tax revenue? The higher educational system is very important, and it does require money.
It's not much of a gauntlet, basically. I think it's a position to be able to influence what's going on. Ward Connolly, who was a regent in the state California system, squelched affirmative action. Not necessarily saying I don't totally agree with what the outcome was, but from the regent position, he was able to influence the entire policy of the state. I believe that that one area that we should look into, other than the lottery, of course, is the need to revamp the ROTC system, and I presented a small paper to the board here. I taught at Nellis Air Force Base. After work, I'd go to Nellis and teach for about 3.5 years at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. I taught aviation law and administrative law to enlisted and some officers. Basically what I found is a tremendously well-qualified patriotic force that we have, which we need to really be proud of. Many of my undergraduate enlisted personnel already had degrees or were very close to getting degrees, except their ability to become an officer later in their career was very limited in their ability to go to OCS. My plan is to have to investigate and push the university ROTC system, which there's Army and Air Force, into providing ROTC courses and enrollment for active duty and reserve and guard personnel, so that at the end of when they receive their degree, they'll also have the requirements, ROTC requirements, to become an officer in either the Air Force or the Army. I believe this will save money and will prevent the rifting of captains in my experience in the Air Force. Almost every captain is rifted, or most of them. And I thought this was a very sad thing, because you have very highly qualified people. Bob Husko.
Last question, 30-second answers, please.